Hey, thanks for being a part of the conversation. This is Forest Stories. I am the Poet in the Forest, a children's series that I penned out in the 1990s. Now, none of it would be possible if it wasn't for this forest right here in South Charlotte, North Carolina. I talk about it so much that I thought maybe it's time that you get to know what has inspired me for 30 years. Thanks for being a part of the conversation. Welcome back to the forest. September 24th, my mother's birthday. My mother got to spend 1 week with us inside this forest. That's the only time in all the years that I've lived in Carolina, in this forest, that she ever came down from Montana to visit us. It's still planted deep inside my heart, the way that she would come out here on this deck, which is 23 feet above the forest floor, overlooking the slow-paced creek, the extremely long, tall grass, and these trees that I know are scraping the clouds from the sky. From this particular place, my mother couldn't see the lake, but the essence of this moment, the 24th day of September, the memory of my mother being out here, because every day, several times a day, my mother would come out to be with this forest. My mother was very spiritual. It's a very, very big chance that she was probably coming out here to pray or meditate. Maybe my mother was dealing with her own challenges in life. She grew up on the Powder River in Wyoming, a farming district. Very tough times back in those days because, you know what? They didn't have modern-day technology like they do today. My mother also worked in a bullet factory in World War II. She kept dedicating her life to serve others. And maybe that's what my mother was doing that 1 week that she spent with me inside this forest in South Charlotte, North Carolina. As much inspiration that I receive every single day, and what I do with that information in podcasting, in writing, in putting books together, my mother had 7 days to receive something, but I never asked her about it. And the reason why I never asked my mom about it was because mom was always about, there are two things you don't talk about in the everyday world: religion and politics. So if it was going to be something that I would like to learn from my mother about her spiritual studies in this forest or religious experience, I wasn't going to do it, because in her heart there are two things you never talk about. So as I rest, find peace, solitude, I meditate on this deck 23 feet above the forest floor, overlooking this stream that's moving so slow to the lake. The vision of my mother is very large in my heart on her birthday. Hey, thanks for being a part of the conversation.